Hello guys, Darth Bob here with another entry for my Alpha Legion blog. Today we've got a lot of updates actually. I've done a lot of stuff since I made my last video, and I'm sorry that I haven't kept you guys more frequently updated for the few people that are watching right now. But yeah, I'm gonna just go over all the things that I've been doing this past couple months. I guess it hasn't been a couple months, but this past month, because a lot of stuff has happened this month. First of all, let's address something sad. I started priming my models because I did get my Reaper paint, so I have been able to get started painting my Alpha Legion. But unfortunately, we ran into an issue with one of my models, specifically my Dreadnought. He has unfortunately been found to be badly cast. Some of the primer wasn't attaching in areas, and I tried rewashing it, scrubbing as hard as I could, even sanding down areas, and it just wasn't sticking. The primer just wouldn't take, and I realized it was because the model was badly cast rather than anything of my doing. So I've emailed Forge World about a week ago. They still haven't gotten back to me, and I don't want to have to pay to call them from the States, so just kind of weathering the storm, trying to figure out what to do. But it's not all bad. I'll show you guys later. But the other thing is, just so you guys see something on the screen, I've decided to rebase my power armor guys with the new 32mm bases. And it's not because, people are saying, oh, they're switching to 32mm bases. It's nothing like that. I just think that these 32mm bases look much cooler. As you can see, here's Brother Hylas here. I can add a lot more detail to the bases. I added one of the secret weapons ruined columns. And what I also did is with all my power armor guys, I pinned their feet. So not only will they be more sturdy to the bases, but I'll also be able to take them off and get in under the capes. Sorry about that, guys. Get in under the capes, be easier to paint. So these are the only two guys. They've all been rebased, but I still have to do the base details on all but this one and this guy, Calyx. Plasma gun guy. He doesn't have his plasma gun on right now, but that's because I'm leaving it off to paint. So yeah, I can pull him off too. I really like how his base came out. Yeah, just with the 25mm bases, the feet hang off, and you just can't add that much base detail without having huge honking rocks or concrete that come way off the top of the base and then extend outward. So I really like these bases much more. I think aesthetically it just looks much better. So the other bit of good news / bad news, we'll get to that in a minute, is I painted my first Alpha Legionnaire. It's Raskus, my heavy weapons Terminator with the autocannon. I'm gonna try to spin this without shaking it too much. Just give you guys a look around. It's painted all with Reaper Master Series paint. I'll put a link in the description, or I'll put in the description the exact recipe for the blue I used. It's a ridiculous mix of colors. And then the base, of course. Might be a little hard to see because of the shadows. Yeah, that's better. So yeah, first Alpha Legionnaire done, all painted, ready to go. And I'm not happy. I am very happy with the color scheme. I think it looks very cool. But it's not what I wanted. You are not what I wanted. When I first started this scheme, I wanted to go for something dark and gritty. And as I painted this model, as it went along, he just ended up becoming something very different than what I set out to do. And while I like it, I don't know if I like it enough to continue it across the entire army. I want something dark and gritty. I want something... I don't know how to describe it. I want something that looks gothic, and you know, something that looks like the old black and white pictures you would find in codexes. If you've seen a friend of mine who really inspired my creation of this army, his name is Razical13 on, that's XIII, not the number 13. Well, it is the number 13, but the Roman numeral 13. He does an amazing, very dark, very evil-looking Word Bearers army. And he was the main inspiration for me doing this army, and I kind of wanted to not copy his style, but kind of capture the dark essence that I think he gave his model. And I just don't think that this does it. So I'm probably going to end up stripping this guy. I think I figured out a new paint scheme, which is where the positive comes in with the Dreadnought. In the few areas where I was, let me move him out so the background's not too busy. In the few areas where he did tank paint, you can see right here is where he wouldn't. He also had some issues in here. I was able to sand it, but unfortunately, like these areas are a lot less detailed than these areas, which just, like that entire chest plate area just won't take paint. It just won't at all. I tried, and it's really sad, but oh well. What are you gonna do? So I attempted. Just gonna try to get up close. I attempted a new scheme, which is kind of this metallic blue. I'll put a link in the description to where I got inspired by this scheme. But it's partially inspired by the Forge World scheme, but I've darkened it a bit, and it's just some successive highlights of silver metallics with a dark blue wash over it, followed by a light green wash. And the green just gives it, it's hard to see in this light, but it gives it a slight greenish tinge. And I just kind of painted a couple panels just to test off. This was a very failed panel where I tried a dark green wash, and that just didn't work at all. But I think the dark metallic blue looks really nice, especially because I think the lighter silver trim really brings out the darkness of the blue. It's hard to see. I've painted both knee pads and the groin plate, but unfortunately, this gets the pillar gets in the way of the light, so it's kind of hard to see. But I'm really happy with this scheme. I have found that the Reaper metallics, I love the Reaper, like the chromatic paints. The Reaper metallics I'm not real crazy about. I find they go on, they don't go on very smooth. And I've thinned them, and I've mixed in mediums. I tried a glaze medium. I tried anything to get them to go on nice and smooth, and they just, I don't know, they just have some issues. They go on kind of I don't know. And they have a nice shine to them, but I've heard that Vallejo Model Air metallics are really nice, so I ordered a bunch of them. The silvers, I ordered the bronze, 2 colored golds, I think aluminum, and I'm gonna give those a try. I've built up a test model, which I actually don't have with me. Let me go grab him real quick. Just across the room. Sorry about that. Here he is. And he's just, you know, I'm not going to use him for the army. He's just a model built from pieces I had lying around. So, yeah, I'm going to test that Vallejo Model Air metallic plus blue wash scheme on this guy and see how that looks, and then try it on the actual guys, which I realized I should have done in the first place when I was painting this guy. I should have tested a scheme on a model not in the army before painting, although I am happy with this guy. It's not that this scheme is by no means bad. I think this might be my best painted model I've ever done, especially considering I haven't picked up a brush in 4 years. But it's just not what I want. It's not that it looks bad. It's just not the scheme I want. And I'm not going to settle and paint an army in a scheme I'm not that crazy about on principle, I'm not going to settle when I'm painting models this expensive. You can't really tell, but or you can kind of tell if you see that little glimmer of white in his eye. The eyes are picked out, which was a pain in the butt to do with the heavy brow and jawline that these models' helmets have. But so yeah, that's about all for updates for me, guys. I'm probably gonna pick up like a a sonic cleaner and some Detol to strip that guy down. Hope that Forge World gets back to me. Try to paint this guy up sometime this week. I've already ordered the metallic paint, so they should be on the way. Or they are on the way. They should come here this week. I've bought some stuff. Trying to think if there's anything else. Oh! I started working on an apothecary, a power armored apothecary for my squad, my power armor squad. He's in pieces right now, but I've started working on him. Yeah, I got this part done. Got the cape on. The green stuff is still drying on the back. We're connected the cape to the power armor. Yeah, he should be done tomorrow. I have work off tomorrow, so I'm going to work on him. I haven't quite decided which head I'm going to use. I'm either going to use I'm going to use one of these three Warp Talon heads, just because I think these particular ones have a very Alpha Legion feel to them. There's this one. There's this one. Oops, this one, which I think looks very kind of dragon-y, Hydra-y. Maybe that's just me, but I think it does. And then there's one other one. Can't seem to find it. Oh, it fell down here. And then there's this one. So, anybody on DACA or on YouTube, I know not a ton of people are watching this, but I appreciate all of you who are. Sorry. There we go. Let me know which helmet you think looks best for an apothecary. Yeah. I'm probably going to, when I paint the apothecary, I'm probably going to paint him just in normal Alpha Legion colors with the apothecary shoulder pad being white with the red. I forget what the name of the symbol is called, but the apothecary symbol. I just don't like the look of the all white with just the Legion color on the one shoulder pad. Plus, it doesn't really make sense for a Legion that's all about subtlety and stealth and misdirection to be like, hey, here's our apothecary, he's the guy in white. So, you know, I kind of want him to be in a more traditional Alpha Legion scheme rather than just straight up apothecary white. Plus, I think the whole white apothecary thing was something from the Codex Astartes, which, as we all know, the Alpha Legion aren't very adherent to. I could be wrong about that. I'm pretty sure that's the way it is, or at least the way it was. Let me know if I'm wrong, either on DACA or in the comments, because I'm pretty sure that's how it is. But anyways, that's all for me today. This video is getting pretty long, so I'll give you guys one last look at Raskus. Last look at him you'll probably see before he gets repainted. I'm kind of sad to repaint him because I did put a lot of work in him, but I'll be more happy with him with the new scheme, I think. Though I'm not going to strip him until I'm positive that I'm going with the new scheme, though I'm 99% sure I will. Though I am very happy with him. And I will leave the color description in the comments, the color recipe for anybody who maybe wants to paint their Alpha Legion like this. So, anyways, that's it for me today. Look forward to more updates. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Check out my blog on DACA. Hydra Dominatus.